Have you ever considered moving to Savannah, Georgia? I know that you have, because more than 35,000 of you have watched my original video about life in Savannah. But things have changed a lot. That thing which shall not be named.
All I'm saying.
So let's go over the things that have changed since the original video, which came out in 2017, by the way. Katie, what's the first thing that has changed?
Price. I love when I see that video that says that the price in Effingham is $240. I'm so excited to move to Effingham. You guys, my daughter's gonna be 5. That video was done 5 years ago.
Prices have gone up significantly in the last 2 years, and to be honest, you know why that is. Prices went up everywhere, especially in the Southeast. Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, they've all seen huge increases in price because people relocated here like it was their full-time job. Well,
Relocating.
It kind of it was their full-time job. That's why they moved here, right? My point is that people were already relocating here due to the fabulous weather, the proximity to the ocean, the low cost of living. And then when they realize they can work from home, you can work from anywhere. You don't have to just be in a house 3 miles from the office. If you're going to go remote, you may as well go somewhere fabulous that you love. And I think that they all came to Savannah, Atlanta, Augusta, and Hilton Head, and Bluffton, and Florida too.
Because Disney.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love Disney?
So what was the next thing that changed?
So I know you made that video about 5 years ago when it was a buyer's market, but now it's a seller's market, and sellers are having the best of both worlds.
So I'm sure I don't need to tell you what the difference is, but when it's a buyer's market, it means there are tons of houses for sale, and the buyers get to pick and choose the one that they want the most. Well, now that's not the case. It is now a strong seller's market, meaning we have far more buyers looking than we have houses on the market. So even though the market is starting to soften a little bit, we are in May of 2022 right now, and there are even price reductions now and then.
$5.
Yeah. $5 price reduction. But there are still more buyers than sellers, which means it's a seller's market at this time.
If you're watching this video in 2030, years in the future, because, you know, 5 years from now, that's pretty close. That's pretty accurate.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's kind of scary.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's like a little off, but my math is pretty close. I went to school for real estate, not math, so there we go.
It's only 8 years.
Yeah, I was only 3 years off. Anyways, I want you guys to focus. Zoom in on my face. Focus. Prices change. Prices change. So focus on the year of the video. It's not 2017. It's 2022. The price is not $240. I know, it's attractive. It was really attractive to me when I found a house that was below $240 in 2017.
But you're not going to be buying new construction anymore for $190, people.
No, I'm not even going to be buying a property probably for $240 in a family of 4.
And don't get me started on the interest rates.
Ugh, stop it, I'm already sweating.
In fact, I just looked through the MLS, and the average price for new construction throughout Chatham County is $391,000. So I'm afraid that ship has sailed. However, the good news is that we are still significantly more affordable than other beach communities. Like, you can check out places in Charleston or Florida or South Carolina. You'll see that Savannah still has a much better price point than most of those other places.
Which is really nice because, you know, Chatham County for Pooler, downtown Savannah, you know, it's great because you have the best of both worlds. You can go to Hilton Head, South Carolina, hometown girls.
Bluffton.
Hometown girls, yeah. Or Florida, you know, and still have the best of both worlds. Living really close, having a good price point. But again, guys, prices change. It's not 2017. Make sure that when you call, you are realistic about what your price point is.
Now, we're going to have that conversation. When you call us and you say, hey, I want to buy a house, my budget is $200,000, we're going to say, I'm sorry, it's not really possible anymore. We're going to have a realistic conversation about what prices are doing in Savannah. And if you don't have the budget, then that's fine. It just means you're going to wait a little bit before you're ready to buy. But when we have really unrealistic expectations, all that does is make you completely disappointed and frustrated that you're not able to find what you want. The fact remains that the prices have gone up significantly. We were just talking about how the average price point in Savannah in general is well above $350,000 now. And what is it in Pooler?
It's from 340 to 400,000.
Yeah. I mean, it's still rising, and it really stinks for people who are wanting to relocate and they don't understand, well, how can I achieve that goal? And I think that's important of why, again, you have a real estate agent, because we can help direct you into what is a realistic budget or how to get there. We don't want to see anybody on a ramen budget, but we do still want you to feel realistic. We don't want to sit there and tell you that, yeah, the price point's 340, but even though your budget's 200, we can still find you a property. So
no, that's actually a really good conversation to have, because I remember early on in my real estate career, I had people that wanted to buy super expensive properties at the top of their budget. And I said, you guys are going to eat ramen every meal. You'll never go on vacation. You'll never go to the movies. Is that really the lifestyle that you want? So if this is truly the only budget that you've got to work with, we may be talking about a condo. We might be talking about a townhome. It may not be your forever home, your ideal home, but it would be a way to get you in on the ground floor and start building equity so that you can trade up to something better down the road. But just know that if your budget is less than $300,000, we're not talking a house with 5 acres and 3,000 square feet.
Yeah, which I think is a good point, because when I called you from South Korea, my expectations for a property were like all the way up here, and my budget was like right here. And so we had to have that rein in conversation. And we as a family are not in our forever home. However, we're not eating ramen noodles every night.
Right.
We're still vacationing when Brian has to deploy. We have the opportunity, like this summer, to be able to take a family vacation, because we made the choice to hear what you had to say as far as what was realistic, and we worked as a team. And I think that is why, again, it's so important to understand what is the budget today in today's time frame, what is your real estate agent telling you, and what are you able to do. Can you kick it up a little bit, or do you need to bring it down so that you can afford to live as well? Because there's not just, that's the end of it. You pay closing costs and then your monthly mortgage. You have all those other expenses, which is a whole different topic. But still, at the end of the day, thinking about what today's inflation and everything is doing, it's increasing everything. So
I love that you were talking about, we know it's not our forever home. What is your opinion of a forever home?
Finding a forever home, I don't believe that it's necessarily impossible, but I do feel like that maybe you need to look for something that is plausible within a few years. I mean, the average person moves every 7 years, so definitely find something that's suitable for you now and wait, and then you can look into finding something at least a little bit bigger, upsizing, or finding something downsizing, and you can move forward then. But
I agree. I feel like people put way too much pressure on themselves that this is the house I'm going to pick, and I need to live in it for the rest of my life, and it needs to be 100% perfect.
Exactly.
And I know that you and I have talked about this many times, that if the house has 75-80% of what you're looking for, that's a pretty good thing. As long as the things that you don't like about it, you can change. You can't change the location. You can't change the neighborhood. You can't change a lot of things about the house. But if you hate the kitchen, you can change that.
Yeah, and I think it's a good point too, especially for young adults or married, first-time home buyers, especially, to realize that your first-time home needs to be that first-time home. It doesn't have to be your forever home. And like you said, 75 to 80%, if that matches it, let's take that on. Learn how to DIY, or how to, put different things on a property, pressure washing. We were just talking about how I need to borrow your pressure washer for our house. There are things that you have to decide what is necessary right now, because it's a seller's market. As a buyer, you can't nitpick through different things of what has to be done, and what, you have to decide, okay, I can set $30 aside to, rent this or that, or I can set a couple $100 aside to have the lawnmower or the HVAC system cleaned. Those are things that are becoming more and more important to ask yourself, what can I do? And let go. I love this property based on the location, based on the neighborhood, based on whatever it is that you prefer. that's what matters the most. And I think for us coming in here from, different places like South Carolina, South Korea, and relocating from and learning that we're getting ready to purchase our first home, what's our primary focus? What's our budget? And I think that's great for us as, real estate agents to help our clients understand this HGTV aspect of first time home is forever is like, it's not possible right now.
It's unrealistic and it's not necessary. You're putting way too much pressure on yourself.
Yeah. You can either love it or list it.
Amen. And list it with us, right?
Exactly.
All right, let's talk about the weather because it's still hot.
My butt's
It
up.
is still humid. That has not changed. In fact, since we started filming these videos, Katie's hair went from down to shoulder length to bun. Yes, it is definitely hot.
Mm-hmm. And so definitely making sure your HVAC is pristine.
So it's still a great place to retire. It's a great place for a vacation home. If you want to go out to the beach and relax on the sun and have a great time in the humidity.
Open container drinks.
With your open container drink. Yes, definitely. Need that.
Yes. The one thing it's not my favorite about Georgia, but I still love when it's like the total opposite is love bugs. I despise love bugs, but I love that we live in a place that has love in the title. But isn't that so special, you guys? I'm just kidding. It's really not. Love bugs are the most annoying bugs I've ever come across. However, and bug spray doesn't work for love bugs, if you're wondering. It doesn't. Has anybody ever tried bug spray for love bugs?
See, bugs, they don't bother me at all. They don't bite. They don't sting. They don't do anything.
But they're love bugging it all throughout the summer and fall, and they're love bugging it. And it is the most aggravating thing when I go to open my door. I am like swarmed by love bugs. And I would much rather have gnats or mosquitoes that I can like...
What?
What? You can spray gnats or mosquitoes. Love bugs, they just keep love bugging it. Okay? That's weird. I don't like that. It's weird. And when you take your windshield wipers, they're still there. Love bugging it. That's it. That's my dislike of Georgia. Love bugs.
Okay.
So if you're looking to relocate to the Savannah area, go ahead and click down below. Our relocation guide is listed and it will make your life just a little bit easier.
Just a lot easier. Let's be honest.
It's a lot. It's a lot.